But yeah.
Yes.
Hey Zach,
Hello, Zach.
I think we're meeting after like
Last-
a couple of years. So just kidding, couple of months.
Yes.
Yeah,
Last it was at the community summit at Bangkok. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. So cool. So yeah, I think everyone is like wondering what happened to these guys. Like suddenly they like pop up and just went missing. So we have like a couple of exciting news, like personally and the career wise as well. So yeah, let me go first. I think Zach is okay.
Yes, yes, yes. You have a big
So
announcement. So yes.
yeah, yeah, I think both news are like very big. So yeah, I was located in Singapore for like more than 3 years, and I had to take this awesome decision with my family. So I mean, my like lovely wife, to move to New Zealand, Wellington. So I am now located in Kiwi land. So what's the time there in India, Bangalore, Zach?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. So it's here. It's 8:30. So me and Zach always had like couple of hours different in Singapore and India. Right now it's like how many hours? Like six something or seven?
Yes. 7.5. Yes.
Yes, 7.5 hours different. So I think we are dedicating this excitement for you guys. Hey, Diraj. Ow. He's watching live, like 1 p.m. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
So Dheeraj is our one of the organizers of AWS UG
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Pune,
I met
and
him in Bangkok AWS community meetup. So yeah, awesome guy.
and last week itself they had their flagship event, AWS Community Day
Yeah,
Pune, and
yeah.
that was kick-ass. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so I moved to New Zealand. So the uh, relocation, everything with that. So I was telling Zach, so I need a kind of a break to get settled down. So to be honest with you, today only I'm still staying in a temporary location until I move to my permanent place. So I managed to set up my all the gadgetics, mics and stuff. So managed to came alive. So we wanted to do this recap before year end of 2022, because if we are going to do it on January, it's not going to be a hot topic, and we wanted to keep you everyone updated. So yeah, that's all about me. So I love the Wellington weather here; it's super chill, and I love the Kiwis. And Zach, if you want to have the best burgers and coffees, you should come to Wellington. They have the best burgers and coffee and the beer. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. So let's see if you can do something here next year. So you can have a visit here. Yep. So the big news, actually, I think it's better if Zach can tell you about his big achievement of this year.
yes. So this year has been amazing. Firstly, got a lot of recognition from the AWS community.
Yep.
That and also from AWS side. And I was recently recognized as AWS Serverless Hero in November cohort. So yay!
Go Zach.
Thank you, Zach. So it's been amazing. And as a hero, I was just mentioning you about AWS Community Pune, right? As a hero, that was my first ever in-person event. So yeah,
That's awesome.
awesome.
Actually, I'm more than happy because I know there are so many community builders, like they're working hard to spread the knowledge and keep the community alive. Actually, Dheeraj, one of that person, personally I know, he does a lot of good, awesome content. So yeah, but you Zach, you deserve this, man. So because I was keep telling you, right, you're doing a great job. You're helping the community, and we also met each other through the um, this community as well. So I think you deserve this, yeah. And I have some surprise for you, Zach. So I attended this year reInvent in Vegas. So I got a couple of awesome swags from Vegas for you. So
Wow.
let me see how can I ship you that from this corner of the world to that corner. If I was in Singapore, it's really easy. I could have do a courier, but I think it's still possible. Yeah.
Yep.
If I send this year, maybe you can get couple of within couple of days or weeks. Let's see. Yeah.
Awesome, Zach. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. No worries. So yes, today the chat all about the recap and reinvent. There are awesome tools and new features, new products, which published by AWS. So to be honest, we are not going to cover like a boring go through all the slides and explain you like each and everything. So we thought of give you some key highlights and which something I personally like. Maybe you notice my t-shirts is something new. Yeah. um, so uh, actually, I just want to tell you like how I got this t-shirt. It's like very um, unexpected. So me and couple of guys, my friends from AWS and few of my Singaporean friends from Singapore, we were heading to Lily's Coffees to have some coffee. So suddenly, out of
Mhm.
nowhere, in middle of the all the it's Venetian, the one of the location they have all the events. So these guys open a box and give some T-shirt randomly. So it's like Code Catalyst, the new tool. So I managed to grab
Whoa.
one. So I was lucky. And yeah, so there are so many awesome things happening in Vegas. Is it okay if I share a few of the few things like I enjoyed in Vegas? I think pretty nice,
Yes.
right?
Let's break the what's happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes. So you guys know now I located in Wellington, New Zealand. If I want to travel to US, it's going. The flights are going through the Pacific Ocean, if I'm not wrong, all the way around the world. So the flight time, I cannot. There's no direct flight from Wellington to uh, Vegas direct flights. Oh, Dheeraj, T-shirt was my next question. Looking amazing. Thanks, Dheeraj. So I have to go to Auckland, from Auckland to San Francisco, then San Francisco, Vegas. So Auckland to San Francisco flight is around like 12, I think 13 to 14 hours, somewhere around like that. It's a very long flight. So my first flight was Wellington to Auckland. That fine. Then I
Mhm.
was waiting in Auckland. So I checked in. I was in the gate. Then they announced the flight is delayed. So this is 27th of November, the Saturday. So
Mhm.
the time difference between Vegas to New Zealand, Wellington, it's 21 hours. So basically, our Sunday, basically their Saturday. Okay, so we
Right,
are
right,
one
right.
day actually. So I was waiting. Then they suddenly announced, unfortunately, the flight has been cancelled. But don't worry, the tomorrow same time we have the special flight. You can fly. Okay, but I was like full shock. Then they provide me the hotels and stuff, so I had to stay in the hotel for like exactly one day in Auckland
Mhm.
to get the next flight. So okay, then the next day I went to the airport and checked in, and immigration everything's done. Then yes, so this flight also got delayed for like 2 hours again, not for the technical thing, some other stuff. Then I knew that I'm going to miss my flight to Vegas from SF4, San Francisco to Vegas. Fine, cool. I was like very chill. Anyways, I had to go now.
Mhm.
I got to the plane, so it's a very long flight. It's like actually, I'm not a fan of flights. I mean, like I love aircraft and the aviation stuff, but the flying is like it's very hectic. Like if you have like long flights like this, then managed to fly. So the best part is like time traveling, Zach. I
Mhm.
got into the flight on 28th of Monday from New Zealand. I
Mhm.
landed. in US, San Francisco, the same day, 28th of Monday morning. Okay, basically because 21 hours gap, right? Yeah, the same day. So nothing to do. Fine. Then I missed a
Mhm.
flight for Vegas, so I went to the counter. It's basically United Airlines. They're really good. Fine. So they said, okay, sorry, because their fault, right? The flight got delayed. They put me in the next flight. So finally, I landed in Vegas. Then I met my Singapore gang from AWS User Group Singapore.
Mhm.
Steve, Serena, Shafraz, Donny, everyone. Then yes, so all the rest of the thing, the session, the expo, all of these nice, awesome keynotes. I really enjoyed the Dr. Werner's keynote and awesome swag hunting and nice food. And we had some couple of the parties from other vendors, like invited parties. And I think the best part is like the AWS community builders, community heroes, and user group leaders, the separate parties we had in like separate venues.
Mhm.
The best part for the AWS community builders and heroes, we had the party in the Madame Tussauds, so it's very nice. All these
Mhm.
figures built from clay, and managed to meet Jason Dunn, our awesome community build manager, and Jeff Barr. So I had a couple of drinks and other nice food. So really enjoyed. So yeah, then returning back, the same thing, the long flight. It's like very very hectic flight, and I got sick because the U.S. weather. It's not like my Wellington weather here, and it's very dry and low humidity. Then I was like on bed rest for like 4 days. Yeah, yep. So those are like awesome things. So middle of that, right, like so many events, so many sessions, and so many uh, keynotes, and nice chat with other community members, community builders. I think Pubudu from the Netherlands, right? The
Yes,
serverless
yes,
guy. Yeah.
yes.
So first time I'm meeting him as well. So
Uh-huh.
we both went for a casino. Spent around like $50 to play some games. We don't know what we are doing, but just to explore. Yeah, so we both managed to lose $50. So fine, we stopped from $50. So don't do that. Yeah, yeah. So it was like a awesome thing. Yeah, I think let's go with the recap. You have anything to tell, Zach?
Well, I have just four letters, FOMO. So yeah,
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully,
looking
maybe
at the
next year.
fee.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
next
yes, yes,
year,
yes.
next year, next year. Let's see. We'll give a try. To go together, and we can do something there. And the best part, I noticed there's a podcast studio they built inside the expo
Mhm.
from AWS. It's pretty awesome. So I took a couple of pictures. So I was telling my wife that okay, I want to build something like this for our podcast. So yeah,
Mm,
it's super awesome.
nice.
Cool.
So next year it is. Let's see.
Next year. So let's go with the recap. So we are going to share the screen again, and right, we'll be sharing some other moving to different screens. So please bear with us. So this is not going to be like very official, like a formal one. So we are going to share some fun, and we are going to share some knowledge with that. Right, Zach?
Yes, absolutely. And
Um,
before Zach,
yeah.
before we get started with some amazing announcements, you have some key takeaways or any sessions that you attended at reInvent, any takeaways from that you want to mention?
Yes, yes. So I managed to got into a couple of sessions. So the best part, the code quest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like like you have to solve a couple of real time means they have built kind of labs and sessions that you have to real time. It's not like the game day thing, but it's something similar. You have to fix the issues, and you can take your team score in the wall of fame, the scoreboard, like the top. So that's one of the best thing I really enjoyed in the reinvent. So I think it's really good, right? Because you can test your own knowledge, and you try to fix things in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. And I would say my favorite part, like takeaway one from Dr. Werner's keynote. So that's my the thing. Like I was like expecting, and that's one of thing I really enjoyed. But if you're going to reinvent, please make sure don't book the sessions like overlapping it. Like you cannot book it even, but okay, for example, you have in Venetian one session and another location or Wien or somewhere like one session for example, one session is 2 to 3 p.m. and then other one is 3 to 4. No, you don't, you're going to miss it. So make sure you book accordingly whether you can make it, and make sure you get some
Considering
good.
the commute as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, and make sure you get some good proper shoes. If you can get with ankle support that you can walk, because you have to walk like, and light shoes, you have to walk a lot and a lot per day, like 15 to 20,000 if I'm not wrong steps. The best part, what happened, I was rushing to the airport, right? I forgot my Apple Watch, so I couldn't calculate my steps
Oh,
and for, yeah. So fine, things can happen.
yeah, but I did see folks posting on Twitter and on LinkedIn their Fitbit and Apple Watch scores, and it was skyrocketing. So yeah,
Yeah, I think all these algorithms, I was like kind of shocked. Oh, this guy's like a very dumb lazy guy, always eats and sleep. Suddenly how can, right? Talk it this much. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so those are things.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. So in case if
So
anyone has any questions, post it in comments. We are happy to take it.
yeah, just put
And
some fun comments, right? We can have some good time. Yeah. So I
awesome.
think let's go with, it's already 80 minutes past. So let's go with, so yes, I think you can recognize who is in there. Favorite, the Amazon CTO, um, Dr. Vernon. So yeah, 2,000 plus technical, see, right, 2,000 plus technical session and 50,000 plus attendees and 100 plus announcement. So that's why we are not going to tell everything. So we are going to cover a couple of things that we really loved. And if you want like anything in your mind, just put it in the comments. So later we can help as well. Yes. So this slide deck, from originally from AWS. So it's shared among all these, I think, community user group leaders, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes, yes. All
Yeah.
the communities.
Community user group leaders.
Right.
So this deck is really helpful to we can share with you all. And a couple of things, build experience, serverless, DevOps. Don't worry, we are going to cover it because that's my expertise area, like DevOps, build experience, and our serverless hero is here, Zach. So he'll be covering about serverless stuffs and a couple of other things as well. Yes, and a couple of news from compute, awesome stuff. Zach, I managed to touch Outpost, and it's
Ah,
a big deal because you don't get that opportunity to touch an Outpost. So yeah, so that's something really nice, and I really enjoy. And we can cover a couple of security and compliance as well.
mhm.
If you're a data guy, there's a huge announcement with data and security, which was announced this year as well. So yeah,
Yep.
build experience, AWS application composer. So I think Zach, you have something to tell about this, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes. So before I talk about application composer, right, I'll tell you what it was when I started with serverless. Uh, I had to create Lambda functions, deploy or create or provision DynamoDBs, API gateways, all of those things. And when I was doing that, well, the first approach I took was the console way. And not a good practice, but again, the console way. And when you're doing all of those things, the one thing that you miss out is your infrastructure as code. And whenever I speak about it, I always look back at that one opportunity where I made that mistake to learn the importance of infrastructure as code, and going with that very own importance and the essence of an infrastructure as code. Application Composer is a big hit, and something that I'm super excited about. I'm still trying it out, and it's one of the things that is still in preview, where you can create your complete serverless architecture, complete serverless application on Application Composer, where you can just drag and drop components, connect them, tell, hey, this is the get function, this connects to a Lambda function, and Lambda function is in turn doing some CRUD operations on DynamoDB or something like that. And it just connects so well just with a bunch of clicks. And wow, you just, and you can create your own template. The template is available as infrastructure as code, and what more do you need, right? The very fact of keeping it so easy for newbies to get started with serverless, and even the fact that they don't have to know certain things about what that template YAML should be, or what's the whole infrastructure as code, and I don't know certain parameters. What should I configure them? All those things is being addressed, where you just have to drag and drop. You want to do some custom configurations, there is an option where you can edit the configurations, add them on, and the template also reflects the same thing. So how cool is that? Yeah.
So Zach, what about the IAM stuff? So authentication, authorization using AWS IAM. Maybe if you want to have some cognitive pools, so which is possible as well.
Yes.
Oh,
So
nice.
yes, you can create almost every serverless and managed service with Application Composer. And also, when you're trying to do a lot of things in terms of, hey, I'm creating a Lambda function which speaks to several of the services, you have to create your own execution policy, right? Execution role. This even creates that IAM permission for you, so that you know, with the very fact about the least permission way, you are even creating your application in a very secured way, and getting access to a specific API action to a specific resource. That's super awesome.
That's cool. So that's all about Application Composer. I think we were having like a pre-session catch up, and me and Zach was talking about we are going to do some deep dive, even though it's preview. So next year, please wait for some of the deep dive for this kind of tools. Yep. So this is
Yes,
the Application Composer UI, right, Zach?
correct. So you can see that, like, you have a get method or a post method. You're connecting them to a specific Lambda function. It's just taking the connectors from that specific method, connecting to the respective Lambda functions. How cool is that? And
Yeah. So
you can
so
see that.
correct me if I'm wrong. So API gateway have a couple of components like resources, methods,
Mhm,
and you have to deploy the APIs of that. So different environments like production, you can have different environments as well, right? So
mhm.
all the things are like done by Composer, like everything is written in the code, correct?
Correct. That's absolutely
Perfect.
correct. And you can see in the left side, there's a huge list of services that support it. So yeah.
This is awesome, man. If someone is like not into much coding and more into like operation stuff, like yeah, why not? This is a tool, and yeah, I don't recommend like don't. I mean, like this is a good tool if you know what you're doing, yeah, but better to have your program knowledge as well to improve as well, yeah.
Yep.
So these are like use cases Zach was telling,
Yeah.
and
So with Application Composer, you can think of every serverless use case, at least a little bit of experimenting and trying out this feature. Even I got the same feeling in terms of, okay, hey, I have a solution. I need to write my infrastructure as code in YAML, and that's a tedious process. Even if I'm writing with SAM or CDK, it's something, some code is what I would have to write, and the whole thing is what I have to write, right? So all of those things is being so uh, uh, I mean, it's so improvised, the developer experience, where you can just do it with a couple of uh, architectures, and you're just trying to say, hey, I used to follow a specific way where I used to first create a architecture diagram, tell, okay, this is my API gateway, this is what it exposes, all of those things. I could do that here as well. I mean, it's not used for architectural diagram, but I could even pictorially
yeah,
think of it in my head, like, hey, this is my API gateway, how it
like
connects.
like the hierarchy, right? Which service
Correct,
connected
correct,
which
correct.
function, and
Yes.
this one is really good. I think I mean, like if you want to do like a POC, You have like 1 week to complete the POC, and you don't have to struggle anything. uh, Use this and compose it, deploy it, and you have the code already. Maybe if you're moving from POC to production, you can use these templates to in your repository to manage it. Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Yes, I was waiting for this.
That is the announcement.
Yeah.
Ah,
So before I go ahead here, I thought of I will share my screen uh, with the nice, perfect. So yeah, so you see, right? This is a separate portal. You can sign up, and you can do all the stuff. So before we go here, I think it's better to explain the what problem it can solve. So are you familiar with this game, Battlefield
yes,
2042? So
yes.
if you're familiar with reviews for this game, is it good or bad? There are so many criticize going on. um, Hi Ramakrishna. Hi Ramakrishna.
Yeah, Ramakrishna is based out of Bangalore, and I've met him
Oh,
a couple
nice,
of times at AWS events that happened in Bangalore. So,
nice, nice,
hey,
nice,
Ramakrishna.
cool. So this game starts with a lot of bugs, and I didn't buy this one. Hi Ramakrishna. Hi, I'm Zach here. So um, these are a lot of issues. So in the software development process, right? What can fix these things? Like if you should have like a proper a unified software development services together to deliver your bug fixes, your new features, your software to the production in high velocity. So that's what we needed, right? But yes, Amazon, AWS, they had a couple of tools. Yes, I don't say no, but something was missing, right? Something like, I'm not comparing anything, like something like GitLab, GitHub, something like where you can check your environment, what's happening, and um, especially track your issues, who is doing what. Okay, Zach is responsible for the Battlefield, the multiplayer UI or something. Okay, which Zach? Okay, Jones. And so Jones, what is doing and what is his tasks and what's going on. So these things are like pending, right? So we all know AWS have something like AWS code pipeline, code build, and code deploy, code commit, but something is really missing. So the code catalyst is kind of resolving things. And the best part, which I really love, one of these things are like blueprints. So imagine you can have your application blueprint uh, configured, and which environment you're going to deploy or build, and where you're going to host it. So you can set up everything in your blueprint, and you can have it. So the best thing, you can have your own blueprint, and Amazon, like AWS, is providing a couple of blueprints as well. So you can include in your CI/CD what code you're going to do, and issue your tracking and everything. Everything can be done. Then this one, yes, who's not going to love this, man? Because right, if you have like multiple environments and multiple um, accounts and stuff, so you can basically have all your environment can be displayed in one place, which is really awesome. And you can see your which ID you're going to connect, and your developer environments, Cloud9, VS Code, IntelliJ, and Golang, PyCharm, and so on. They're supporting a couple of other IDs as well. So you can just integrate it, and do your coding. Then yes, this is the one I was telling about, collaboration, track your issues and stuff, right? So this one actually really supports Jones, that you can integrate with your Jira Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have your own Jira boards. You can have your own issues, your own tracking, and your scrums, like your sprints and stuff. That's fine. So same thing, you can integrate to here. You can track and check uh, what are the high priority issues, any like high vulnerability bug fixes are pending, and who is doing it, and which sprint is going on, and other epics and everything you can see in one place. So this one is really really awesome. And yeah, if you're familiar with GitLab, GitHub, um, I think you are familiar with this view kind of. You can see all the steps and what's going on to your build, and your testing, or all the steps. So if you're familiar with AWS code build YAML, or GitLab CI pipelines, everything you can state in your YAML configuration. So same here, you can have your YAML configuration, all the steps, and nicely you can have a nice view, and you can check what's going on and which environments and everything you can see in one place. So, and the best part, you can integrate with other third-party applications such as GitLab Actions. So, if you want to trigger one GitHub action while this pipeline is running on, you can just basically integrate your GitHub Actions and you can run it. And who cannot forget testing, right? So, you can have your testing strategies, and you can check how healthy your code with your testings, and everything is dashboard, right? When you come to observability, and it needs visualization. So these are like really really important when it comes to end-to-end the deliveries. And the deploy, you can check and select which environment you're going to want to deploy, and which roles and which regions. Everything is like you can pre-configure, and easily you can do it. So I'm still playing around with that, Zach. So same like
Mm-hmm.
you playing with the compose. So I'm just playing around with that. So I'm planning to have, maybe we can have our first session for the our talk maybe next year, can be code
Yep.
catalyst. Yeah, why not,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
we can
2023
do a
is,
deep dive.
yeah, 2023 is going to be amazing with some new amazing services, some deep
Services,
dive.
yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, of that you can see you're tracking your process, like you're like across all your teams, all the environments. You can track what's going on. So this is something really nice to manage your team. I mean, like you can have a visibility what team is going on, like um, to check in your DevOps culture, like any blockers are going on, like everything, like you can check and track what's in each and every steps with this tree. So this is really nice. Actually, it's you can sign up for free, and you can try this. Pricing wise, see, get start for free. It's available free. You can actually still use for free. There are so many stuff for free. Like I think if you are a developer that you want to try for free, like um, you can try this one for free. And I checked for the price as well. It's on demand price are like not bad. You can see, right? It's
Mhm.
really cool. And $4 per month also, like it's not a big amount. We pay a lot for Netflix, Disney Plus, and why not for this and give a try? I mean, like if you want to try your other features, like which are not available free one, just you can pay $4 and you can try it. I'm not sure this one is covered by AWS credits yet. I'm not sure, but what we can do, we can check uh, whether this one is covered with the AWS credits. So in that case, it's a good news for AWS community guys. You have like good credits, and you can use that one for this one as well. So I'm not quite sure, but I think Zach, we can check this out later,
Yeah.
and we can put a comment later, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I was
Yeah.
just looking at the announcement, and I don't think there's anything mentioned with respect to AWS credits. So
Yes, yes.
yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, so that's all about the catalyst. So don't worry, this is just a recap we are doing, and we'll be back with a good uh, deep dive soon next year. Um, I'll
Awesome.
go back to the slides. Nice. Okay, so the Code Whisper, it's AI based. Okay, I think it's okay to compare, right? I mean, like we are very open. So if you're familiar with GitHub Copilot, so yeah, this is something like that. You can integrate with your IDs. So actually, I got the beta access like I think a couple of months ago. So I
Mhm.
tried with my um, what's my ID? One of the IntelliJ IDs. So it's really nice. So you can basically it's generate your code recommendations, and like even each tab, it will tell you which code block you want to enter. So I managed to create a Dynamo DB using JS. Just
Mhm.
keep tabbing. So it generates the entire code. So it's about JavaScript, Python, Java, C Sharp, TypeScripts for now. So I think the future hopefully it will support other languages as well. So yeah, so it's really cool. If you're confused like what is like something new like Code Wispy, I think this one is like not announced like exactly. Is
It was
this
before
was
Reinvent. It was way
before
before Reinvent.
Reinvent way
Yeah.
before Reinvent is announced, but it was in beta, and you had to request to get the access code to try it. But fortunately, I got the access, so still it's there. Um, I'm trying it. Yeah, so you can. I still. It's in preview now. You can try it. So give it a try. It's really cool. Like can save some time, but
Abs-
you should have. I mean, like if your knowledge is not good with JavaScript and you want to build something in JavaScript, and if you're using this, no, it's not meant. It's not for that reason. It's for like you're very good at JavaScript. You know what you're doing, and you want to save time to simplify your application. Then go for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I've tried it out when it was still in beta, right?
Okay.
And at that time, I used to write a lot of Lambda functions, which communicates with a lot of other services. And the beauty of it is, I just had to write a line of comment telling, hey,
Yes.
this
Yes.
function is meant for doing a put operation on DynamoDB, or invoking my step
Uh,
function execution,
yeah.
some comment like that, and
Something
it
like that.
generates a code. So how
So
cool
me,
is
I
that?
just created the create Dynamo DB and tap plug
Huh?
it like importing everything. Yeah.
I,
Yes. So we have the serverless hero here. I think though we are not going to cover like each and everything, right, Zach? So I'll just keep press next. So you can go ahead and, or you want to share your screen or what? Like which one is easier? So I can keep
you
sharing
could
screen.
you could share it. That's fine.
Okay.
Yes. Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. And it was just launched like when 2014, and the adoption
Yeah,
for
2014.
serverless
Yeah.
has been amazing. And I have worked in my previous company where I worked as a cloud architect. We have used, I don't know how many Lambda functions, but we have used a ton of Lambda functions, which has processed over millions of requests. And even at Freshworks, my present employer, we use a lot of Lambda functions and even Bridge, and we was the earlier adapters of serverless,
Serverless.
and we had about 3 billion requests being processed. So that's super amazing. The very fact about where you can write your code and not have to provision some EC2 instance to do some compute or a ECS or anything like that. You don't have to provision things. It's just on demand. You create, and on the go you're actually getting your stuff done. So super amazed with how Lambda function has evolved, being from a couple of years into now. And one thing that I always see people complaining, and even I complain about this one thing about Lambda function, and I guess you know that, Zach, about code stats.
Yes.
So when it came to cold starts, we had to do a lot of work around things, do all sorts of things to keep our Lambda functions
Sorry.
warm enough. Yeah, no, no, it's fine. I guess the next slide.
Yeah.
Yes. So before I talk about Snapstart, uh, cold start was one issue where every serverless developer cribs about, right? So that's one thing where it's you're running something on production. There are some cold start Lambda functions. It takes a while to start. You lost that event. Luckily, if you have event bridge, you're trying to do archive and replay. But if you don't have, you just lost it. But now, at least how I see it is Java being one of the runtimes which has majority of cold starts. Lambda team has started up with something called as snapshot, where it it enables you to ensure that your Lambda function cold starts have been reduced drastically, and they're starting up with Java 11. Unfortunately, I'm not the Java expert, so not yet tried it out. Uh, but yes, this is heading in a very good way where we could say, hey, your serverless functions or your Lambda functions are into the future not going to be dealing with the fact about cold starts, and you could reduce cold starts. So this is amazing. And the very fact about I saw a couple of demos where I did see folks configuring Snapstart, and it was so easy and so easy to do. And I think even SAM CLI and CDK supports it. SAM CLI does, but I'm not sure about CDK. But
I think
for
definitely
the,
should be. Yeah.
yeah, so all these infrastructure as code providers, the tools support Snapstart, where you're telling, hey, my Lambda function which is running on Java is not prone to cold starts. So this is really great, and this is a huge, huge, huge announcement for folks in the serverless area.
Nice. So there are a couple of things I think maybe can mention. Okay, so this was the one is like telling about the life cycle, right? So I think Zach, the AWS giving you some kind of a period to keep your snapshots. So I think if you're a user like use always lambdas, like your application is like consistently using like lambda for like daily basis, then this is good. But if the lambda is for like anyways like it's running for like couple of times per a month or year, then there's a life cycle that it will remove the snapshot. Then again the first initial attempt will be take that same time. Yeah. So Amazon Event Bridge pipes. Are we going to talk about this today?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was speaking about Lambda functions, right? And on the contrary of it, I even speak about how you can build your workloads without a Lambda function. So when you're doing all of those things, well, the first step was with step functions, where we started having SDK integrations and uh, talking to different other services directly from step functions and reducing your Lambda functions. Now, what you could do is you can have your event bridge, which is used as a event bus where you post all your events and the consumer consumes it. You could have point-to-point integration. So say, hey, I have DynamoDB streams. The one way that I could do it is I have to invoke a Lambda function to do some other processing. Now I could remove the Lambda function and say, hey, my DynamoDB streams directly speaks with SNS or SQS or any of my other needed services, or my based on my use case, any other service that is being needed. I could directly integrate, and when I'm integrating, I could not only say, hey, this is the payload and here it goes. I could even filter things. I could even transpose things. So when I'm working with, say, a lot of other services, the payload that it needs or the event JSON that it needs are different at times. And when you have, or you want to look at certain things like DynamoDB streams for all the put items, you don't want to look at something that's been updated or deleted. With all these use cases, well, the Event Bridge team has introduced pipes, even bridge pipes, where it helps you with filtering and also point to point integration with different other services and reducing your additional infrastructures, things like Lambda function or any other thing where you're trying to write your extra or the glued code that it's been called, right, where you're trying to connect with different things with your code. So all this has been reduced, improvising or telling, hey, you don't need application code, you can do it with infrastructure as code. So yes, this is amazing, Zach.
Nice. So see, like awesome. For guys like us, so we are very excited. Then like okay, for example, if you are a fan of Apple ecosystem, and you're waiting for these new announcement of Apple new phone, new AirPods maybe. So for like guys like us, these are the like things which makes us give like goosebumps, knowing, oh wow, there's a new tool, when we are going to play with this, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
And the time is, it's already, I think, we 45 minutes past, so we are going to do few of the unfortunately we cannot cover entire release, like you see, right, 100 plus stuff, but we are going to pick it up from here and there, and we are going to do it. So next one will be distributed map for the step function. So are we going to cover this one, or just we're going to I think we can give a small heads up maybe.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes. So, what happened previously is when you had to process a uh, huge load of data on your step functions, what used to happen is you used to hit a concurrency limit, or used to be like, okay, how do I process so many things in my map, a type that's supported on step functions, right? So
Yep.
this is where it came in, where you have a ton of data that's coming in. Either you're streaming it directly from S3, like there's an example out there. You're iterating over objects in S3, and your S3 bucket can have millions or trillions of objects in it. Could You don't have a control about what are the objects, what is the size of objects, and how do you process them when you're trying to do all of these things, when, especially in terms where you're trying to do an ETL operation, or you want to do some analytics, or you want to ensure that the things or the objects stored in your S3 bucket are secure, or does not violate your policies, or do all of those things. You have to process each and every object. When you're doing all of those things, Lambda functions, yes, but step functions helps you do it in a very elegant way. And when you're doing that, you used to reach certain limits and say, hey, I've busted out my concurrency limit, I've busted out my uh, execution time. All of these things used to come up. What has happened now is the distributed map helps you to process all those million objects. And when you're trying to do all of these things, you could even iterate and also match them with different APIs supported on step functions. So yeah,
That's cool. We are talking about millions, right?
yes, millions.
Yes. So since you are talking about the serverless, right? So I thought of jump little bit to the data, and I think you know what I'm going to show next. So I think
Uh,
this one, it's kind of I think Zach, you love this one, right?
hmm. Okay, there's one contrary about this. Is it really serverless, right? That's one thing that's there, because yes, you're not physically provisioning things like what you do with other things, or what you used to previously do with OpenSearch, but you're doing it more in a managed way. I don't. I still don't. I'm still not convinced very much that it's very serverless. So
Yeah,
yeah.
let's see.
Yes, yes, yes. And I've not tried it out yet, so let's see what's my opinion after I try it out. But
Yes,
yes, when you're trying to do a lot of searching, or you're trying to do real time search, OpenSearch, I've built solutions on OpenSearch previously as well, and it's helped a lot. And that being serverless, or you're trying to do less of a management, is a really big win. So yeah.
cool. let's jump into a couple of DevOps things, and which are like this one I want to just give a kind of a heads up. If you're running ECS, right? So this is something like a service discovery, where you can have your connectivity, your traffic observability inside your ECS clusters. I know some still using Kubernetes on AWS using EKS, but if you are into more Amazon ecosystem, you're definitely using ECS. So yes, this is something you can really try it on, and I love this one. Amazon Artist Blue Green deployment. So I remember I was working on one of these previous companies, and we were using AWS RD, Amazon RDS, sorry, and in that application we have something like, when we're doing deployments, we had to update the database as well. So we had to put some long time of maintenance, and if anything goes wrong, we had to change the database, from the backups and stuff. So it's pretty painful. But what do you think about this, Zach? Right, it's awesome, right? If you can have kind of a blue green setup for your database, from your application, you can, you can from your RDS control, you can like switch it over your which database you're going to use. So this is something, right, I really loved in the reInvent announcements as well.
Okay. Zach, you want to
Yep.
you want to specify about what blue-green deployments are. Why is it very important?
Yeah, because if you're running a production load, and for mainly for the testings, right? uh, like you want to make sure before you delivering like your making sure you're availing make available of your maybe your e-commerce platform, your website, your application, uh, to the uh, to your users. You have to make sure you have to test it, and if there anything goes wrong, you need to switch it back again to your previous version within less time, faster, and make sure you're not doing any data loss while doing it, because database are transactional, so you can have data loss as well. So you have to make sure you do it very faster, and make sure to reduce your data loss. So this one, it's really great if your application it's very oftenly updating your database, adding new tables, removing, and this one is really nice. So actually, I was talking about the application is one of the e-commerce platforms in the industry. So I'm sure they're gonna love this feature if they're hosting the website on their AWS. If you want to add something else, Zach, you can go ahead. I'm just rushing, right? We have a couple of less minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, the time is not sufficient for the number of announcements. So yes.
Yes.
So yeah.
I mean, like,
Uh,
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so just asking folks, all our viewers who are watching, what are your favorite announcements? So you can probably comment, and yes, we'll look out for which announcements the greatest are getting a great shout out from the community. So yeah, over to you, Zach. I
Yes.
see
So
Nitro.
Nitro. Yep. If so, they came up with this new. Like they announced the GA about this new Beef version 5, and you see, Zach, you see the
Sure.
numbers matrix there, right?
Yeah,
50% faster. 50%. It's not like not like 10 to like 50% faster, right? It's crazy. And uh, you guys know about Graviton. So they announced this year. I'm sorry, I couldn't find which slide. It's so many slides are there. So Graviton 3, they announced this year in reInvent as well. So the Outpost, which I touched, it's a Graviton 2, but I heard that there will be a Graviton 3 version as well in the future. So I want to run you through one more thing. This one was previously announced as well, but I just want to, just give you a heads up about this new tool. Okay, it should be under the networking.
VPC.
Lattice. Yes. So the lattice, it's a very interesting service. Actually, this one, actually, I was aware about this tool because from one of the maybe NDA sessions, I don't know, from community builders. I'm not sure. Anyways, this one was there before the reinvent. Um, in a couple of newses. So, but they kind of had this announcement about these VPC lattice. If you're a guy, if you're a person like serverless or microservices architecture, if you're running your cross account, cross VPCs about your services like everywhere, without peering, without having any other like heavy setup, you can basically integrate your EC2, your ECS, Elastic Container Services, AWS Lambda, EKS, your Kubernetes clusters, Kubernetes, your resources can be connect each other through the VPC lattice. So this is something really good. This is what we wanted, right? Like Zach, make it more simplified to deploy your application to the cloud and have the connectivity that's going on and give more security and the part I love, the observability, so you know what's and why something goes wrong. So yeah, so this is one of the thing I want to just show you guys. Yeah, maybe we
Awesome.
can, don't worry, we can have like a couple of deep dives about these tools, how to deploy, and no worries. So yeah, that's what we do.
Yep.
And it's 1 hour. Anything else, Zach, that we missed? I'm sure there are a lot of awesome news, but with the time period, with the time, we can do this for like entire day. So um,
Yes, yes.
I just don't want to ruin your Sunday evening or maybe your afternoon. For me, it's almost 9:30. It's nine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do everything in a day, right? And we have cherry picked a couple of them, and probably the something that we find it very close to us, and something that we are
Industry. Yeah.
super excited about, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
That said, I'm still
So
hoping to see some folks about what's
yes.
their favorite announcements. So yeah,
So what is your most favorite announcement, Zach?
it's
Just
Event
one,
Bridge
one.
Pipes. Event Bridge
Okay,
Pipes.
right. For me, the code catalyst as a DevOps guy. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
Awesome
but
then.
it's hard
So
to choose the first top
yeah,
top one.
always yes. So if you have, oh, thanks, Dheeraj.
Thanks,
I
Dheeraj.
know we made a couple of stupid jokes. Just forget it. uh, yeah. Cool. So I think that's all about it for today, Sunday night. And I'm super excited. I'm gonna make you jealous, Zach. So in New Zealand, we get like long Christmas holidays. So we have something called close down period, and I get like 3 weeks off. So from
Mm.
2026 Monday, everything is shut down. I'm going leave for like 3 weeks. So I'll back on January.
Pretty solid
So
weeks. Have fun though.
yes, yeah. That's one of the thing I love it here in New Zealand as well. Yeah, the culture, the people are really
Awesome.
nice. Yeah.
While Dheeraj is around, Dheeraj, can you comment out what's your favorite
Yeah.
announcement from the event?
And thank you for staying with us for like entire 1 hour, right, Dheeraj?
Yes, yes. Thanks a lot, Dheeraj. There's some amazing things Dheeraj is doing. So,
Yeah, yeah, I'm a
uh,
big fan of him. I just follow him through LinkedIn and his YouTube
uh-huh.
channels and Twitter. Yeah, he's doing like awesome
Yep,
stuff.
yep. Even yesterday, he had a oh,
Cool.
confused issues, but yes, we all are confused.
I know we cannot do any for everyone for one tool, but yeah, I know there are so many other things that which I have not mentioned. Also, especially I think we forgot to mention when you talk about serverless. Uh, you know, um, um, AWS Inspector. So now
Mhm.
which is supports AWS
Lambda
Lambdas as
functions.
well. So which means like if you have like vulnerable packages inside your Lambda functions, um, so you can configure AWS Inspector to scan it, and you can get this done. More inclined towards developer section announcement.
Hmm.
Nice, nice, nice. That's fine. That's fine.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we are not going to take you much time. And I believe we can see on next year, right? 2023, which is going to be awesome. And there will be a couple of new stuffs. And we plan to do a lot of deep dives as well.
absolutely. So 2023 is going to be some super awesome year where we'll do some deep dives. We'll be talking more about these announcements with some demos. So who doesn't love demos, right?
Yeah, that's the best part, right? Cool.
So yeah,
Then, yeah. So, Zach, I think it's time we can wrap it up. So thank you all. Have a good Sunday evening. Enjoy. So it's for me. It's almost I'm done with the day.
so you're having Monday blues.
Yeah. And yeah. So see you all. So we'll meet you with another session with the Zach Show. Let's talk about AWS. Bye.
Awesome. See you all. Thank you all for watching, and we're super excited for this year. And this year has been amazing. Like in the intro of the session, you did see what are some amazing things that's happened in both of our lives. I know there's a lot of happened in yours as well. So embrace them and have fun. Have a very good holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So see you, everybody. Bye bye.